Hi guys, it's Jen. Today I have made some pork tacos. Yeah, pork tacos. So let's get started. I'll tell you what they are. They're in them. It's pork, obviously. It's kind of like carnitas, but a little softer. It has onions and cilantro, of course, my lime. I'm probably not going to eat all of these. I have salsa. I have red today. Then I have some grilled onions. Getting cilantro all over me. And then I have some salt, just in case. But I normally never use salt. Sorry about the darkness. Oh, there it goes. Sorry if it gets dark. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. But I haven't fixed my overhead light because I've been busy with my son. And yeah, he was flown to the hospital. To a children's hospital. So I'll get into that and tell you guys why. So let's get started. Let's put some grilled onion on here. I love me some grilled onion. A little bit of salsa. Whoops. And a little bit of salt. Alright. Let's eat this. This is how it looks. Oh, I went dark again. I'm sorry. So yeah, let's go. There we go. We're bright again. Pretty good. So my son started having, he was sick. You know, you can tell that he's sick. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't want to, doesn't want anything. Just wants to be held. So Saturday, we had bumps bulging out of his neck right here, and I'm like, okay, that's it. And it was Saturday around maybe 3 when he woke up from his nap. He was just crying and crying and crying. So I said, okay. I said, fuck it. I'm taking him to the hospital. I don't care what anybody says. I'm done. My son's reading. So we go to the hospital. They look at him. Mind you, the doctor only touched him with this stethoscope, whatever it is, that he listens to through his ears. Didn't touch his adenoid, his throat or anything. Didn't look in his mouth. Said, okay, he's got a cold, double ear infection. I'm like, okay. So they prescribe him medicine. They prescribe him a prescription. We take him home and give it to him. He's fine all Sunday, but he's still cranky. He's still not feeling well. Still not eating. I don't think he ate the whole day. We tried to give him food. He wouldn't eat it. So Monday morning, 6 a.m. He's doing the same thing. Crying. Just crying. Won't eat anything. Won't drink anything. Won't even take his medicine. This time he has 104 fever. So I take him to the hospital. And this time he's lethargic. He does not want to be put down, does not want to be touched by strangers. He tells these strangers, so mommy wanted to tell him too. So they tried to put an IV in his arm, take blood. Couldn't do it because he's so dehydrated because he didn't want to eat or drink anything the last 2 days. So My poor little son. They tried a vein here. It blew. They tried a vein here. Poof, it blew. Again, they tried another one on his arm, and it blew. So, before they did that, they got a little blood out of it, and they sent it to the lab. And then they come in and they say, we gotta get him an IV. We gotta get him an IV started so he can get some fluids. So at this point, I'm really frustrated. I'm ready to hit a bitch because they're hurting my son. So I was like, okay, I gotta leave. But before I go out, the doctor comes in and goes, oh, we got the blood results of your son. I'm like, okay, what's going on? We think he might have leukemia cancer. I lose it. I just can't handle it. I'm like, are you serious? So he's blabbing away. I'm not listening. All I'm thinking is my son has cancer. What parent in their right mind wants to hear that their kid, their 2-year-old son, has cancer? You know? So he tells us, you know, and then he's like, well, we can, I'll just admit him. Well, you guys are, well, first we were on our way home, you know, and then he comes and he tells us that the kid has cancer. We'll just admit him and keep him overnight. No. He comes back, sees my son is lethargic, says, no, I need to get you out. I need to get you to Spokane. So they're passing the buck here because they don't know what to do. So they pass the buck. So I leave. I'm just like, I gotta go or I'm gonna hit someone. I'm gonna end up in jail because my son is more important than I am, and if somebody hurts him while they're putting an IV in, I'm gonna end up in jail or in the hospital. Where's myself? So I just step outside and make a phone call. I call my grandma and I call my brother. I lose it on the phone. You know, they're telling me my son might have cancer. I'm going crazy. I can't breathe in the car. All the while my son is over there with my husband getting an IV. So I cool down. I think I was gone for about 10 minutes. I go back in there. My son has an IV in his foot, of all places, his foot. So, and he's in there crying and he's just saying, oh, mama, out. Bye-bye, mama, out. My son wants to leave. He's fed up with getting hurt. So he's like, okay, you got 10 minutes to do what you need to do. You guys are getting airlifted. The helicopter will be here in 10 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, what goes through your mind is I'm on my way to another hospital because they think my son has cancer. So yeah. So we get into the we get ready to go, and my son, they strap my son in a gurney, and my son is yelling at me, no, out, mama, out. It's like, I'm sorry, buddy, you can't get out. And then they tell me, ma'am, there's a weight limit. There's a weight limit with a helicopter. We don't know if you're gonna be able to go. I said, excuse me, bitch? This is my son. I have never, ever been away from my son. Never. And it's not gonna start here. You either let me go or you're not taking him. Because I don't think it's that urgent. I can drive him 2.5 hours to Spokane. So they talk to the pilot. Yeah, I know I'm a big girl. Who the fuck cares? You know, my kids are taken care of. That's all that matters. And if anybody on here cares, hit that exit button. I don't give a fuck. So the pilot burned off a little gas so I can go. Scared shitless getting in a helicopter, okay? I thought I was gonna get a ride in the back with my son. I get a ride in the front of a fucking helicopter, okay? Scared shitless. Told me don't touch anything. So I sit there, I don't even move. I barely breathe for an hour helicopter ride. So we're in this helicopter. Got these loud ass headphones on with people talking to you. So they told me, oh, your son's asleep. He's doing good. He's asleep. I'm okay. We touched down in Spokane Children's Hospital, and we go in there. The nurse comes in and he looks at Patrick. He brings all this stuff here that he needs to put in an IV because he doesn't think he has an IV. I'm like, he has an IV in his foot. Would you like to examine my son before you do another one? So he tells me, I'm gonna prepare you for the worst instead of the good. If your son has cancer, they're gonna go and they're gonna take him into surgery and put a port in there. And then they'll start chemo within 24 to 48 hours. And then it's gonna be a nice 3 long years of pain and torture for your son if he has cancer. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna prepare me for the worst on my 2-year-old son? Really? I wanted to sock that motherfucker right in the face. Excuse the language, but I'm pretty pissed. So we go, it's about maybe 12, maybe 12-ish, maybe 1-ish. So he's antsy, he doesn't want to sleep, you know, he's been poked and prodded, so he got another IV. So he had 3 tries before, and then he had 1 in his foot, and then they finally got 1 in his hand. And no, they didn't give him fluids, no, they didn't do that. We didn't see the doctor until the doctor came and told us the results of, I don't know why they sent you here, but your son does not have cancer. He just has a cold. And I'm like, okay. At that point, this doctor couldn't even tell me that my son had mono and not cancer. So I thought we were going there to a children's hospital by a helicopter to get seen by a doctor, not another fucking ER doctor. So we got seen by another ER doctor. He comes out and he tells me almost at 4 o'clock, no, told me at 3 something, maybe 3:30. At this time, they, you know, it's a children's hospital, so I'm pushing my son around in a wagon, and every time I stop, he wants me to keep going, because he goes for walks in the morning, every morning with his grandmother per wagon, and he hasn't done it in 2 days, you know. So we do that. I'm pushing him around and around and around. I'm doing laps in the hospital. So after that, we finally see the doctor at 3 something, and he tells me, your son doesn't have cancer. He's just got a cold and redness in his throat, no ear infection. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Who's gonna pay for this helicopter bill? Honestly, now I gotta pay for a helicopter bill that wasn't even worth it. I mean, not worth it, but it's urgency. You know, his white blood cells were high because he was sick and he wasn't feeling good. He was lethargic. Nobody should have gone through this. Not even me. It's just ridiculous. So the doctor barely even touched him. Touched it, you know, he let him sit in the wagon and stay in the wagon while he got his little, listen to his heart, listen to his, my son at this point did not want anybody to touch him but me, and he wanted to sit in the wagon. So he was like, he looked at the doctor and went, don't touch me. He was hitting the doctor. I'm like, good job, son, let me hit him for you too. So crazy. I'm like, can you just explain this to my husband when he gets here, because he's gonna want to know too. Motherfucker checked out, left, and didn't even stay to talk to my husband. And then he didn't even give my son to another doctor so somebody else can explain it to him. I'm just like, are you kidding me? So we got home. He didn't feel good. He didn't sleep the whole night again. He's still running a fever. When we left there, he was running a fever. That's what I don't get. If he's already at the hospital and he's running a fever, why did you let us go? You know, why did you let us go? So after that, we're on our way home. We get the boys home, we get him settled in bed, and then the next morning, well, he didn't sleep, so I didn't sleep, my husband didn't sleep, so now we're tired. We're pushing, you know, 48 hours of not sleeping. So we call his doctor. So we see his doctor at 11:20. His doctor wants blood, takes his temperature, gives him a shot, and says give him Benadryl for his congestion. His doctor is the one. We brought him home. He took his nap. Still running a fever. Give him Tylenol. So we gave him Tylenol, and then we gave him Motrin. His fever went down, but his fever kept going up at night. His fever went down. So, but I know this is Tuesday, so when we were at the doctor's office, we had seen the doctor every day this week, except for Thursday. Thursday was the only day that we didn't see his doctor, and Monday because we were in fucking Spokane. He wanted to see us on Monday. He says, I'm making room, we'll make room for them, just send them here and I'll deal with him. So, yeah. So now, my son has mono. We're treating it, well, you can't treat mono, so you just treat his fever and you let it run its course. He's doing so much better. He's a little whiny because with mono, your body hurts and stuff like that. So he's a little bit whiny and stuff, so. He's whiny, he's eating. He's drinking, he's talking more, which is good. But all in all, that experience was the worst. I don't wish it upon anybody, so yeah. And I'm really full. So that was my whole week, and I didn't even get to mukbang the whole week, so I'm sorry that, as I've said, in the darkness of me, there it goes, in the darkness of my camera, like I've said before, my family and kids come first before anything. So yeah, I'm really full. I have this left, but I'll save it for lunch tomorrow or something. But that is it, and let's leave off with a drink of cola. Yeah, that was hell week for us. Never. If I could, I would like to net punch the oncologist that told us that my son had cancer. So, on that note, nut punch is good. Bye bye. See you guys later.